And Prime Minister Modi will be in Uzbekistan on the 15th and 16th of September to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization or SCO summit. The Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russia's Vladimir Putin will also be attending. And all eyes are on this summit because the CSO summit comes at a time when there's been a widening rift in many tensions over both the Russia-Ukraine war and India's border disputes with China. These leaders are expected to review the grouping's activities over the past 2 decades and discuss the prospects of multilateral cooperation. All eyes on the summit because it will also be the first time Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping will be coming face to face after their meeting in Brasilia on the sidelines of the BRICS, that is the Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa in 2019. Russia, meanwhile, has said that Xi Jinping will meet with the Russian president at the summit as Moscow seeks to bolster ties with Beijing after being slapped with unprecedented Western sanctions over its invasion of Ukraine.
It's an important summit in which all the member countries plus some other observer countries and dialogue partners are participating. There are common challenges in the region, growing economic partnership, coordinating action in fields of development partnership, other kinds of issues which can provide a solution to the region, environmental challenges, etc., etc. And of course there are issues which are global issues which are discussed. It is expected that the Shanghai Cooperation Summit this year will also discuss this, and the people would be looking with great expectations what comes out of the summit.
And a court today agreed to hear the case of 5 Hindu women who want to pray at a shrine inside the Gyanvapi mosque in Varanasi, the mosque next to the famous Kashi Vishwanath temple. Their petition will now be heard on the 22nd of September. It's likely to be appealed in the Allahabad High Court.
Celebrations outside the court of Varanasi's senior-most judge. The court has ordered that the case by 5 Hindu women seeking the right to pray all year inside the Gyanvapi mosque complex next to the famous Kashi Vishwanath temple can be heard. The challenge by Muslim defendants was rejected on all 3 counts they cited. The most important of these is that the case is not barred by a 1991 law that prohibits any change in the nature of a place of worship as it existed on 15th August 1947. On the Places of Worship Act, the court said, the plea is not for converting the mosque into a temple. The petitioners have only claimed a right to worship at the disputed property, said District Judge A.K. Vishwesh. The judge added, petitioners haven't sought ownership over the disputed property and that petitioners have not asked for the disputed property to be declared a temple. In his 26-page order, Judge A.K. Vishwesh also spoke about 2 other acts, the Waqf Act 1995 and the Kashi Vishwanath Temple Act of 1983, and said that none of them bar the case of the Hindu women. The next hearing in the case will take place on the 22nd of September. But the order is likely to start the first of a series of challenges in higher courts.
सबसे यही अपील हाथ जोड़ के करते हैं कि सभी लोग अपने अपने घरों में दिए, शंख, घंटी और हर हर महादेव का नारा जरूर लगाएं।
कोर्ट के लिए रास्ता खुला है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने खुद ही कहा हम उसके लिए जाएंगे।
The Gyanvapi case has seen a rapid, controversial escalation in just over a year in a series of court developments, including this controversial video leak allegedly claiming a shivling had been found inside the mosque complex. In August 2021, 5 Hindu women filed a petition asking for year-long worship at the Shringar Gauri shrine inside the Gyanvapi mosque complex. In April 2022, the Varanasi Civil Court ordered a survey of the Gyanvapi mosque. On May 13, 2022, the Mosque Management Committee challenged the video survey in the Supreme Court, but the court refused to pass any immediate orders. Between the 16th and the 19th of May, a videography survey was done, but Hindu petitioners leaked the sealed report, claiming that a shivling was found inside the mosque pond used for purification rituals. The Varanasi Civil Court asked for the pond area to be sealed. On the 20th of May, the top court transferred the case to the Varanasi District Judge, the city's senior-most, saying the case needs an experienced judge. Uttar Pradesh's Deputy Chief Minister said he felt a wave of happiness at today's order.
भावनाएं बहुत खुश हैं। मेरे पास सैकड़ों फोन कॉल्स आ रहे हैं। सबका कहना है कि माननीय न्यायालय ने बहुत अच्छा निर्णय दिया है। देखिए वो उनका अधिकार है, लेकिन हम सब माननीय न्यायालय के निर्णय का सम्मान करेंगे। उत्तर प्रदेश में किसी भी स्थिति में कानून के राज को और मजबूत करें।
The Kashi Vishwanath temple and the Gyanvapi mosque are located next to each other in Varanasi and are heavily guarded at all times. The site is politically sensitive too. It was one of the 3 temple mosque issues, Ayodhya and Mathura the other ones, which the BJP raised in a major way in the 80s and 90s, on its way to winning power in the later years.
बाबरी मस्जिद केस में प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट 1991 के सिलसिले में जो कुछ भी ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था, उससे इस बात की उम्मीद जागी थी कि अब मंदिर और मस्जिद से मुताल्लिक़ तमाम मामलात हमेशा के लिए सुलझ जाएं, हमेशा के लिए हल हो गए हैं.
The hearing of main case has still not begun. It may take months or years, and politics on this Mandir Masjid will also continue. The biggest challenge will be in front of administration to maintain peace and law and order. In Banaras with Ashwani Mehra, Alok Pandey, Rajesh Gupta, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
And the Aam Aadmi Party national convener, the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, was on Monday stopped by the Gujarat police from visiting an auto rickshaw driver's home in Ahmedabad. Citing security concerns, the Gujarat police stopped Mr. Kejriwal, and this earlier in the day while on a campaign there in Gujarat that is heading for elections. The AAP leader had accepted the dinner invitation at the home of an auto rickshaw driver, but the police stopped him, citing security concerns. That then led to a disagreement. He eventually did travel to the auto rickshaw driver's home for that dinner. Mr. Kejriwal is on a 2-day visit to Gujarat as part of the AAP's campaign for the upcoming assembly polls. And earlier in the day, he had addressed a gathering of auto rickshaw drivers in Ahmedabad in the afternoon on Monday. And a week ago, heavy rains hit the silicon capital Bengaluru, bringing life to a standstill. And the Bengaluru civic body then identified around 700 encroachments on the stormwater drains across the city. And on Monday, bulldozers and cranes were out. But the public is asking, how were these buildings given clearances in the first place?
A JCB at work at East Bengaluru's Gopalan International School in Mahadevpura that was inundated last week. The school, built 12 years ago, reportedly encroached a stormwater drain that was developed into a cricket pitch.
What we understand right now, it's shut. The school has been shut, but since this morning, and at least till about 5 p.m, we saw that there was a JCB and it was clearing one particular playground and a cricket pitch. What we understand from on ground is that this particular school had cleared the stormwater drain, had developed a cricket pitch and a playground on top of a stormwater drain.
I once again reiterate that we have not encroached on this Rajikal way or on the stormwater drain. This building and this entire ground of Gopalan Foundation came up in 2008, and we have left it as it is, as raw ground. The encroachment, as you see, is by those apartment complex that you can see. Yeah. That is the main reason there, Shrija.
Just about 100 meters from the school's compound wall is Mahavir Apartments, home to 250 families. This has also been marked out as an encroachment. Residents say they are paying the price for an alleged unholy nexus between builders and officials.
You are the senior engineer. Did you give permission or not? Knowing fully well this is the land of stormwater drain. How did you give it?
So there is a nexus.
There is no question of it. It is there.
If government wants to demolish, let us provide them alternative accommodation.
The civic body has identified at least 700 encroachments on stormwater drains across Bengaluru, from residential to commercial structures.
Every encroachment, whether high-profile persons have been done or some ordinary citizens have done,
We'll see and ensure that it
Nobody
is
will be
completed.
spared.
Yes, madam.
Now, the markings have been already done by the BBMP. They also say that they will ensure that they're going to raise that particular apartment. But we have to wait and see if the civic body will do so, because the apartment owners say that they will move the court.